The Best Eid Ever, written by Asma Mobin-Uddin.
क्या कर रही है?
Anisa sat in her bed looking out the window. Her parents were away at the Hajj pilgrimage and she missed them. Saudi Arabia was so far from her home in America. She thought about last year's Eid holiday when she had worn her new shalwar kameez with flowery orange henna design on her hands. Daddy had said she looked like a princess. Mommy had let her eat candy before breakfast. They all went to Eid prayers together and then visited friends all day. But today, the house was quiet. Just then, Anisa's grandmother bustled into the room. Yikes. Anisa, happy Eid, Nani said. Can you move your hands down, please? On the bed and greet Anisa, happy Eid, Nani said on the bed and greeted her granddaughter with a big hug and kiss. Time to get ready for prayers. Anisa returned the hug and then slumped back into the bed. Why the sad face, my dear? Nani asked. Brushed the hair out of Anisa's eyes. Do you miss Mommy and Daddy? Anisa nodded. She felt like she might cry. I know it's hard without your parents here, Nani said, but please don't be sad. Today of all the days, we'll have fun together, just you and me, okay? Anisa tried to smile. She didn't want her grandmother to feel bad. Okay, she said as Noni stood up and walked over to the closet. Now I have a surprise for you. Noni lifted up a blanket on the closet shelf and pulled out a gift-wrapped box that had been hidden underneath it. Anisa pulled the ribbon off the box and opened it. Her eyes lit up as she saw the beautiful Eid clothes from Pakistan. Pulling out the kurta on top, she ran her fingers over the soft, shimmering fabric and its gold embroidery and shiny sequences. Purple and gold bangles clinged together as Noni unwrapped them. Handmade Pakistani shoes tucked on tissue paper still lay in box. Nani, I love my Eid clothes. How did you know purple was my favorite color? Thank you. Anisa hugged her grandmother. I can't wait to get dressed. There's still more, Noni said, smiling as she pulled a bright red shalwar kameez and a silky yellow garara out of the box. Each outfit had matching bangles and shoes. There were 3 sets of clothes, one for each of the 3 days of Eid. Now, which one do you want to wear to prayers this morning? The purple one! Noni smiled. It will look beautiful on you. I will iron it while you are getting ready. But first, I have to stir the lamb korma. It's food. Lamb korma? Anisa jumped out of bed and ran to the kitchen. The aroma of her favorite dinner cooking on the stove made her mouth water. Please, can I taste some? Noni scooped out a spoonful of bubbling lamb curry, blew on it, made sure it wasn't too hot, and then gave Anisa a taste. Anisa savored the salty, spicy curry in her mouth. Yum! It's good! I'm glad you like it. Now let's hurry and get ready so we're not late for the prayers. At the prayer hall, the Imam gave a sermon about the Hajj pilgrimage. Anisa had a hard time paying attention because she kept thinking about her parents and wishing they were here with her. After the sermon ended, the women and children in the women's section of the prayer hall folded their prayer rugs and greeted each other. Anisa hugged so many people. The donuts on the back table were quickly finished. Anisa noticed two young girls standing alone watching the excitement around them. The older girl's hijab was torn. The younger girl's dress fell almost to the floor, and she kept her arms bent so her sleeves wouldn't slip down over her hands. Anisa walked over to them. "Why didn't you wear your Eid clothes today?" she asked. The older girl stared shyly at the floor. Seeing that her sister was not going to answer, the younger girl blurted out, "We don't have new clothes for Eid. We had to leave all of our stuff and ran away when the fire burnt our house down." The older girl turned towards her sister. "Maryam, we have to be thankful. The war can't get us now. We are safe and we are together. Papa says God will give us whatever we need." "I wish Papa were here with us now, but ever since we came to America, he always has to work," Maryam told Anisa. "He even had to go to work on Eid. But later, he's going to bring Zainab and me candy, and we're going to the mosque together for afternoon prayers."
And I'll tell you. And then we have another one. This one can be.
Here.
इसके बाद हमें make this one.
Before Anisa could say anything, Auntie Salma pulled her into a big bear hug. "Anisa, Beti, Eid Mubarak! My dear, happy Eid. You look so pretty, mashallah. As God has willed, you and your Nani come visit me today, okay?" Anisa was swept up by other aunties and friends in hugs and kisses and greetings. While hugging Auntie Barak, Anisa saw Maryam pick up a piece of donut off the floor. The girl looked around quickly and then put the donut piece in her mouth and licked the sweet glaze off her fingers.
Ew.
As people were leaving the prayer hall, Anisa kept looking back at the girls. Finally, she let go of Noni's hand and went back to them. She didn't know what to say, but she couldn't leave without talking to them again. Hesitantly, she asked them, "Maybe we could play together sometime?" Instantly, Miriam's face lit up. "Sure," she said, flushing a bright smile. Zainab continued to look on the floor.
Got him. Got him. He's so cute.
Where do you live now?" Anisa asked. "In the apartments by the mosque," Miriam's answered. Zainab lifted her head to look at Anisa. A small, shy smile crossed her face. "In number 63. A motherly woman ushered her 3 children and Zainab and Miriam out of the prayer hall. At home that afternoon, while Noni was heating up the food for dinner, Anisa told her about the girls she met. Noni listened quietly. Sometimes when families leave their homes because of war or other bad problems, they have to leave behind everything they own. Noni told her many families have come to America as refugees, looking for a safe, good place for their children to live and grow up. Does God help these families? Of course, my dear. God helps everyone. Noni was stirring the curry, but sometimes not in the way you might think. Instead of just taking away the bad times, he might send good people to help them through the bad times. Meanwhile, the families have to work hard and trust that God's help is always near. Noni opened the oven door to check on the roti. Do you remember the story of Prophet Abraham, his wife Hajar, and baby Ismail? Anisa nodded. Mommy and Daddy had told her that many of those lessons of Hajj pilgrimage were based on this story. Prophet Abraham's family trusted in God even in very difficult times, and God always took care of them. Noni and Anisa said a prayer for Zainab and Miriam's family. Then Anisa told Noni about a plan she had made. After that afternoon, as shadows lengthened across the city, Muslim families were leaving the mosque after praying the Asr prayer. Anisa sat quietly. Someone will hear you, Noni whispered to her granddaughter as they crouched behind the bushes outside the apartment building next to the mosque. Here they come, duck down. Through the leaves, they saw two girls and a man stop in front of the decorated baskets neatly arranged on the crack stood in front of their door. What's this? In surprise, the man read the attached card. Happy Eid to Maryam, Zainab, and their papa. Anisa felt as if she might burst with excitement. Would they like the presents? Zainab and Maryam opened the basket. Wow, beautiful clothes! Look at all the sparkles on the yellow shirt. What a pretty red outfit with matching bangles and shoes. I can't believe this, the man said softly. Lamb and chicken rice and vegetable, even desserts and candy. Who could have left all this? Papa, help us carry basket inside. Maryam was trying to drag a basket across the sidewalk. Put them down, girls, their father commanded. We don't take charity. Their father paused. Then Maryam asked softly, but can I keep the yellow clothes? I love yellow. And what about these sparkly bangles? No, my dear, their father spoke again. You know that Muslim does not beg from others. But Papa, we didn't ask for them, Zainab pointed out. Papa didn't budge. I will provide for my family. These are other people's who need this food and these clothes more than we do. Now let's go. Can I just eat this cookie right now? Anisa could hardly breathe. What if they didn't take the gift? As she leaned forward to see better, a twig snapped under her. What's that noise? What was that noise? The father asked as he turned around to face the bushes. Anisa and Noni ducked as his heavy footsteps approached their hiding place. Through the leaves, Anisa could see the man's stern features and firmly set chin coming towards them. Hiding behind thick eyebrows were soft, gentle eyes. In the eyes, Anissa recognized the same look of tenderness she often saw in her own father's face. Anissa and the man looked at each other for a long moment. Then abruptly, he turned around and walked back to his daughter. He knelt down on one knee and opened his arms. The girls wrapped their arms around him, and Mariam climbed onto his knee. "Papa, there's more food than we need here," she said, small fingers gently touching his cheek. "Why don't we share it with the neighbors? And please, can we keep the pretty clothes, please?" asked Zainab. Anissa saw the man's face soften as he drew his daughters close to him. As he hugged them, he nodded and he smiled at Anissa and Noni. After Anissa and Noni returned home, Noni picked up the telephone and dialed. "Hello, I'd like to order a medium vegetable pizza for delivery," she said. After she hung up, she shook her head. "Eating pizza on Eid, my child, I have never had an Eid like this one." "Me neither," Anissa said. "I can't wait to tell Mommy and Daddy about it." Later in the evening, as Anissa and Noni snuggled up on the couch and pizza, they both agreed that this has been the best Eid ever.
I'll turn the page. Oh.
The end.
The end.
Let's not rip these pages, please.
Sorry. You can read this book.
Here the author talks about the Hajj pilgrimage, about the Eid al-Adha, and as well as Prophet Abraham, Hajar, and their son Ismail. And some glossary down here.
Now
The end.
Now we're gonna make
Assalamu alaikum.